Hello and welcome to Spectrum Television News at 12. I am Uyai Anyekan, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Let's take a look at some of the major stories. President Tinubu back in Abuja after G20 German summit. Federal government to enhance irrigation projects for food security. Plus, Israel's Supreme Court rejects legal challenge to hostage deal. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Thanks for joining us. First in the news this afternoon is Nigeria's leader, President Bola Tinubu, who has arrived in Abuja from Berlin, Germany, where he attended the G20 Compact with Africa CWA conference. The president, who left Nigeria on November 18, 2023, was received on his arrival in Abuja by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory FCT, Nyesom Wike, the National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, as well as his Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. The president had joined other heads of state and government of CWA member countries, bilateral partners, as well as heads of international organizations to deliberate on the immediate enhancement of economic and business cooperation with a view to outlining concrete measures to boost investment in critical areas such as energy, trade, infrastructure, and new technologies, among others. The G20 CWA conference was co-hosted by the German government and German business associations. Away from that, the federal government has said that it is dedicated to extending irrigation projects and reactivating dormant initiatives to improve food security in the country. The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Joseph Uzev, stated this during a familiarization tour to the Anambra Imo River Basin Development Authority facilities in Agbala near Owerri. Uzev stated this in his ministry. Uzev stated that his ministry, was looking into new ways and techniques of revitalizing the Lower Anambra irrigation project, the largest rice irrigation project in the southeast. The minister urged respectable investors to increase their investments in the water industry, stating that President Bola Tinubu's administration was resolved to cultivate 500,000 hectares of irrigable land. From the red chambers, the Senate has resolved to approve all tax waivers by the federal government from 2015 to date, just as it sought cancellation of those not directly linked to non-governmental or non-profit organizations. The Senate also ordered the deregistration of all subsidiaries to the Nigeria Postal Service being irregular and illegal identities, and called for an investigation of the 10 billion naira released by the Ministry of Finance for the proposed NIPOST restructuring and recapitalization. The upper legislative chamber also sought stiff punishments, including jail terms for violators of finance laws. The Senate met the resolution during the passage of the 2024-2026 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. From the Green Chambers now, the House of Representatives has urged the Nigerian Correctional Service, NCS, to give an account of inmates that escaped from the Kuje Medium Security Custodial Center in 2022. The House mandated its committees on reformatory institutions, interior and police affairs to liaise with the heads of the relevant security agencies to produce a comprehensive report on the status of the escaped inmates. The committees are expected to report back to the House within 6 weeks for further legislative action. Reports say a member representing Ikono in the federal constituency of Akwa Ibom State, Emmanuel Ukpong Udo, sponsored the motion that led to the resolution of the House. In a separate development, the New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP) has filed its notice of appeal before the Supreme Court to challenge the November 17 judgment of the Court of Appeal, which upheld the decision of the Election Petition Tribunal sacking Governor Abba Yusuf and declared Nasiru Gawuna of the All Progressives Congress (APC) as the duly elected governor of Kano State. In the notice of appeal filed by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Boyega Awomolo, leading 7 other senior advocates and 10 other lawyers, the NNPP listed 10 grounds for challenging the appeal. Listed as respondents in the notice of appeal are Governor Abba Yusuf, the APC, and the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). Recall that on November 17, the Court of Appeal upheld the decision of the Election Petition Tribunal, which sacked Governor Abba Yusuf of the New Nigeria People's Party and declared the APC candidate Nasiru Gawuna winner. The 3-member panel of the appeal court dismissed the appeal filed by Governor Yusuf based on his membership status in his party. In another development, Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has signed legislation establishing a new retirement age of 65 or 40 for teachers employed by the state. Previously, the retirement age for teachers were either 35 years of service or 60 years of age. Uzodinma stated after signing the bill into law that the new law is to encourage teachers to have a sense of job security and to be more effective and efficient in their duties. He called the gesture value addition and urged the teachers to be more committed and serious about their jobs. Back here in the home front, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly Committee on Appropriation and Finance yesterday assured Akwa Ibomites of its readiness to interface with ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, to scrutinize the level of implementation of the previous budgets of the state and to also work on the current presented budget of Governor Umoino for speedy assent and commencement. Speaking during a press briefing on the budget presented by Governor Umoino, the chairman of the House Committee on Appropriation and Finance, Dr. Itoro Etem, noted that Governor Eno is very interested in the implementation of the budget, especially as regards education. Dr. Itoro further reviewed the various plans of the Umoino-led administration in various sectors, including agriculture, security, administration, economics, social business and investments, education, among others. This is just as she spoke on the total budget estimate of 845 billion naira. President of Ibom People's Congress (IPC), Professor John Okon, yesterday called on President Tinubu and the security operatives to intervene and rescue the 8 kidnapped prospective core members of Akwa Ibom origin in Zamfara State who are still in the captivity of the kidnappers for over 100 days. He made the call in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, during his interaction with the media. Okon says that they cannot allow children to be exposed to incessant abduction and killings, therefore advocate for the NYC scheme to be either scrapped or reviewed to achieve the main purpose of its creation, which was to promote national unity. He further recommended reforms that would allow core members to serve in their respective states of origin to be put in place, since their security can no longer be guaranteed.
We are gathered here this afternoon for a simple reason, and short and simple reason. One, we have 8 of our Akwa Ibomites abducted in the last 90 days or more on their way to serving the nation. And we are here as a body to lend our voice to the government to do whatever they can within their power to rescue these young men and women. IPC have sent a letter, to the President of Nigeria, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We have sent a letter to the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio. We have sent a letter to the Speaker of the House of Assembly, House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas. We've sent a letter, to National Security Advisor, Mr. Nuhu Ribadu. We have also sent a letter to our governor, Pastor Umar Basiena. And in that letter, which I'm going to specify very succinctly what our demands are, and we also want to work again alongside the state government and the federal government in the rescue of Akwa Ibomites that are being held in captivity for the last almost 90 days. Number two, we want to direct, again, as appropriate, that the Nigerian Army, police, intelligence, and other security agencies to facilitate immediate release and return of Akwa Ibomites that are held in captivity in Zamfara State home immediately. We also ask to be directed as appropriate that the government agencies responsible for working collaboratively and sharing information intelligence with families of the abducted corps members to assuage their hurt and heighten their anxiety. We can no longer allow our children to be exposed to incessant abduction, killings, in the cause of saving our nation. And in that, we recommend a review of NYC scheme. Again, that's very simple. We want, two things very succinctly. We want NYC scheme to be reviewed, and we want NYC to be scrapped or reform, reform NYC. Okay? Part of the reform should include maybe allowing us citizens or to serve in their geopolitical zones. Okay? Because
we move now to Africa, where South Africa's opposition leader Julius Malema and 5 other members of parliament from his Economic Freedom Fighters EFF party have been punished with a 1-month suspension without pay from Parliament. The Parliament's Powers and Privileges Committee found them guilty of contempt of Parliament for storming the stage during President Cyril Ramaphosa's State of the Nation address in February. The committee noted that each suspended member must also make an apology in person in the House to the President, Speaker and the people of South Africa for disrupting the President's address and putting the country in bad light. They also added that the suspension of the 6 members of Parliament will run throughout the month of February next year. Still in Africa, army in the Democratic Republic of Congo says it will punish any soldiers in contact with a largely Hutu rebel group linked to the 1994 Rwandan genocide. The army said anyone regardless of rank who breaks the ban on dealing with the FDLR militia would be arrested. The announcement follows pressure from the United States on both Congo and Rwanda to lessen tension between them. On the foreign scene, Israel's Supreme Court has rejected a legal challenge to the Gaza hostage deal by Telemargo Association, which includes the release of at least 150 Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails. The Al-Mago Association, which was set up in 1986 to represent victims of terror, had claimed that the government's decision, among a series of objections, intensified the risk of the recurrence of serious acts of terrorism to which all the citizens and residents of the country are exposed. According to information released by the court, Al-Mago had asked the Supreme Court to annul the government's decision and order the government to discuss again the terms of the deal with Hamas. The court said it rejected the petition outright on the grounds that the hostage deal is a clear political issue to which the court does not consider its involvement as necessary. Still on the foreign scene, the World Health Organization (WHO) has asked China for more data on respiratory illnesses and clusters of undiagnosed pneumonia spreading in the north of the country, urging people to take steps to reduce the risk of infection. WHO said northern China has reported an increase in influenza-like illness since mid-October when compared to the same period in the previous 3 years. Recover China's National Health Commission last week told reporters that the respiratory illness spike was due to the lifting of COVID-19 restrictions and the circulation of non-pathogens, namely influenza and common bacterial infections that affect children, including Mycoplasma pneumonia. Reports say Chinese capital Beijing, located in the north of the country, is currently experiencing a cold snap with temperatures expected to plummet to well below zero by Friday, and the city is also showing a trend of multiple pathogens coexisting. Still to come in the news. Nationwide League One unveils trophy for cup competition. Stay tuned for details of this and more after the break.
Christmas season is here again. Are you aware that making your business or products visible on a television space gives your brand a wider visibility and patronage? In the spirit of the season, Spectrum Television is offering a whopping 25% discount on all services. Advertise your products and services while this offer lasts from 1st December 2023 to January 31st, 2024. We are a television with a passion to take your business and services on a satisfactory lane. You do not want to miss this opportunity. For more inquiries, visit our city office at number 2 Taft Plaza Close off Akaitinen Road, Yo Akwa Ibom State, or call the following numbers on your screen. Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon.
Thanks for staying tuned, and now to the rest of the news stories. On our business news, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) says the average retail price of a litre of petrol increased from 195.29 naira in October 2022 to 630.63 naira in October 2023. The NBS, while making the declaration in its petrol price watch for October 2023, released in Abuja, stated that the October 2023 price of 630.63 naira represented a 222.92% increase over the price of 195.29 naira recorded in October 2022. The NBS also stated in its diesel price watch reports for October 2023 that the average retail price was 1,004.98 naira per litre. It said that the price in October 2023 of 801.09 naira per litre amounted to a 25.45% increase over the 801.09 naira per litre paid in October 2022. Still in business, the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association (NECA) has slammed incessant strikes by organized labor in the country, stressing that the incessant strikes are affecting the business environment. NECA stressed its refusal to let either the federal government, with its persistent legal disputes, or organized labor through recurrent strikes continue to jeopardize legitimate businesses. The Director General of NECA, Adewale Smart Oyerinde, said this while announcing the third edition of the NECA Annual Employers Excellence Awards with the theme Against All Odds in Lagos State. Oyerinde expressed disappointment in what it termed government's recklessness through the National Assembly, describing it as regrettable. He urged both the federal government and the National Assembly to reconsider their continuous summoning of organized businesses, deeming it disruptive and unnecessary. He stressed that there are designated agencies responsible for regulating and engaging with such businesses. On our health news, medical experts have raised an alarm over the high rate of antibiotics misuse in Nigeria, lamenting that it has led to a rise in antibiotic resistance. They noted that antibiotic resistance has dire consequences on health and leads to poor health outcomes. Delivering a presentation on antimicrobial resistance and patient safety, lessons from moralities, Professor Mohammed Maga cried the misuse of antimicrobial, which he said may cause resistance. He noted that antimicrobials are among the commonest drugs used in treating human illnesses, adding that infections, especially in low research settings, are very common. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization says antibiotic resistance is one of the biggest threats to global health, food security, and development today. According to the Global Health Body, antibiotic resistance leads to longer hospital stays, higher medical costs, and increased mortality. In the meantime, a nutritionist Uju Onora says poor nutrition in the first 1,000 days of a child's life can cause irreversible damage to the growing brain. Onora, who said this during an interview with newsmen in Abuja, noted that the first 1,000 days from pregnancy to 2 years is crucial for development. She explained that if not given the right foods, it could affect a child's ability to do well in school. Onora also said that stress, trauma, poverty, and violence experienced during the first 1,000 days could have a long-term adverse health effect on a baby. On the kinds of food the mother should eat after childbirth, she advised a balanced diet that contains all the food nutrients for healthy growth. This, according to her, should include lean meat, high-fiber foods, low-fat dairy products, and plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables. In sports, the nationwide League One has unveiled the trophy designed with a gold plate for the maiden edition of its cup competition. The competition is scheduled to run from Friday, November 24 to Saturday, December 9. Uyo and Kano have been designated as the venue of the inaugural tournament. Reports say 16 teams will grace the competition at the Uyo Township Stadium and the Sani Abacha Stadium, Kano, while the grand finale will be staged at the Buhari Stadium, Abuja. Still in sport, Stephen Kenny's time as Republic of Ireland boss is over after the Football Association of Ireland, FAI, confirmed it will not be renewing his contract. Kenny's deal ended after Tuesday night's friendly draw with New Zealand. The 52-year-old had been expected to depart after failing to qualify for Euro 2024. Reports say the FAI were expected to make a decision on the Dubliners' future at a board meeting next week, but decided to confirm his exit yesterday. Meanwhile, Kenny, who was appointed as Mick McCarthy's successor in April 2020, had said that he did not expect to be offered a new deal. In a statement released after his departure was confirmed, Kenny said managing the Republic had been the ultimate honor. On our entertainment news, U.S. actor Jamie Foxx is being sued by a woman who is alleging that he sexually assaulted her at a restaurant in New York City 8 years ago. According to the lawsuit, Foxx, whose real name is Eric Marlon Bishop, groped the unnamed woman after after she, asked to have her photo taken with him. The accuser is suing Fox for damages, alleging sexual assault, abuse, assault, and battery. Still on entertainment, the Lagos Coroner Court has stated that the most crucial aspect of an autopsy to determine the cause of the lead singer Mohbad's death is being conducted in the United States of America. O. Akinde, the state counsel, told the coroner magistrate Adetayo Shotobi that the autopsy into the external body of the deceased had been completed. Akinde made the disclosure following the concerns by the counsel to Mohbad's father, David Fadimo. The state counsel said the toxicology test, which has to do with the internal body, is being done in the United States. Recall that Mohbad died in a controversial manner on September 12, 2023 and was buried the following day in the Ikorodu area of Lagos State. Following the outcry which trailed his death, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, ordered a forensic investigation to unravel the cause of the death. Also, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Idowu Owohua, based on the IGP's directive, had set up a 10-man team, including a pathologist, to exhume the singer's corpse and investigate his death. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do well to follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, Spectrum TV Live. This has been Spectrum Television News at 12. Thanks for watching and do enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon.